Like, I hate, like, always and forever say that I fucking hate niggers. Oh my god, I fucking hate chimps. Like, I hate y'all. Like, you, like, I don't fucking, oh, we were slaves, this and that. I don't give a fuck, nigga. Like, for a fucking reason, you guys were fucking slaves. You guys don't know anything better than the fucking steel. Like, oh my fucking god, nigga. Like, I was literally, like, come here, you. And oh my god, like, I felt like the world just stopped. Like, it was just peace.
The Houston Police Department has relieved Officer Ashley Gonzalez of duty after a video surfaced of a rant filled with racist and derogatory remarks.
When I looked at the video, in disgust because she made it clear about African Americans dropping the M-bombs, calling us monkeys and all this and stuff. She made it clear, like, when she goes to work, she's going to be arresting black people.
Let me get a black person on.
All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all glory and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Honors and salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing his word in truth and sincerity. Or this is the brother Tawab Rakah from GMS Los Angeles / Inland Empire. Come back with another video in the spirit. And once again, Tawadi Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, for opening my eyes to this truth. Allow me to wake up another day and putting the spirit on me to do another lesson in hopes to edify the hopeful elect. Okay, as you just seen, you know, this clip that's gone viral of this so-called Mexican broad, you know, expressing her hatred for so-called black people, right? And see, to me, you know, hearing that doesn't shock me. I'm not surprised, you know, because, you know, growing up in the area I grew up in Los Angeles, you know, and I'm used to hearing these so-called Mexicans speak this way, you know, or having that that vitriol for so-called black people, you know. But a lot of the people, and you know, I'm starting to find out, you know, a lot of people of the southern tribes throughout the different states have been having the same issues, you know, with the Northern Kingdom, you know, and it's not all of them, you know, because I ain't doing this to bash the northern tribes, you know, even though I understand, you know, it's 2/3, you know, just like 2/3 Southern Kingdom is 2/3 Northern Kingdom. Okay. But this is something that the Lord is showing in these times, man, because this has been going on for quite a while, you know, and see, you know, these individuals, whether it's North or South, that have that hatred towards one another, it all goes back to the curses, the scriptures, you know, which, you know, when you read Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, it goes into the curses when you get down to the 15th verse, and from the 15th verse all the way down, it goes into the curses. And one of the curses is that our people are going to have hatred towards one another, okay? And that's what that so-called Mexican broad was displaying in that clip, you know, and that clip is going viral, okay? But you know, you know, a lot of our people think that way. You know, you got so-called black people that got that same mentality when it comes to their own. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. We do have grimy ass niggas among our people, you know, but at the same time, you know, you got coon ass niggas among our people as well. Because even if you are decent, Jake, you know, whether you Northern Kingdom or Southern Kingdom, you're still going to get treated with disrespect. You're still going to be looked at in an evil manner. Okay, you're going to be despised. Okay, because these people perception of the average so-called black man, so-called Latino man, so-called Native American man, you know, and the women as well, they already have a negative outlook on, you know, who we are based upon the low, because they always show the low lower version of our people. They never show they're never gonna show the high vibrational side of Jake. They're always gonna show the low vibrational side. But it's crazy because this bitch in the video, she'll she claims she hates black people, but I guarantee you a lot of the music she listens to is from so-called black people. Okay, just like these Mexicans out here in LA. They claim, a lot of them got a problem with Jake, but a lot of the music they listen to is Jake. They play a lot of the oldies, even the hip hop music. They listen to Ice Cube, Tupac, which, I believe they Northern Kingdom, especially Ice Cube. But, he looks like, a so-called Negro. But they listen to the music. That's the point, they don't have no problem watching Jake movies, even dressing like Jake, because they dress just like Jake. They wear their hats backwards, sideways, they because Jake started that whole trend, wearing baggy clothes, especially when the hip hop thing took off. New York started in New York, then went to the West and went to the South, went all over the place, But it's just funny, all this hatred that she has for Jake. But where's all that for Ice? You know what I'm saying? Is when Ice run up on your ass, because now you're not a officer no more. So when Ice run up on your ass, what you gonna do then? Where all that energy gonna come when Ice come on your ass, man? And see, that's what the Lord doing that to you Latin tribes, man. Because you Latin tribes, y'all got your head up your ass, man. Okay? A lot of y'all are in a complacent spirit here, And I understand, a lot of our people, they leave in their native countries because, poverty and Esau fucked up your towns. But the thing, when you come over here and you have this attitude towards the so-called Negroes, like we the ones that did that to you, and we, the so-called black man ain't got Ice coming after your ass. So-called black man ain't destroy your countries, your towns and whatnot. Okay? But you got all that hatred and vitriol towards us. That's why the Lord is having all that shit happen to y'all, man. But among the elect, the ones that the Lord is woken up to this truth, they're not going to be on that vibration. Okay, because the Lord's bringing the tribes together, and it's starting with this word, this truth. Okay, so I'm gonna read this real quick. This is Zechariah chapter 9 verse 12. It says, "Turn you to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare that I will render double unto thee. When I have bent Judah for me, fill the bowl with Ephraim, and raise up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece, and made thee as the sword of a mighty man." You see that? So the Lord, it says Judah, he's going to use Judah and Ephraim to go against the sons of Greece, which is Esau. Judah represents the so-called Negro tribes, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and Ephraim representing the Latino tribes, okay, the Latin tribes and native tribes, okay. The Lord is going to bring those kingdoms together, starting with the elect, because 2/3 they got, 2/3 of our people, they got to be destroyed, man. 2/3 of our people, really right now, they're not our people. They're heathens, spiritually. They're not physical heathens, but they're in a Gentile state of mind. They're in a heathenistic state of mind. Okay, you still calling yourself a Mexican, you still calling yourself a Puerto Rican, you calling yourself a black person, Jamaican, Haitian, so on and so forth. You're in a heathenistic state. Okay, and that's what that this bitch in the video, that's what she is. She's a heathen. She's lost in the sauce. She's in a heathenistic state. Okay, and then she's talking about you know, we don't know nothing. We ignorant. She sound ignorant as fuck in the video, man. You know how she was talking. You know, I'm like, how the fuck did she become a officer talking like that, man? You know, but it goes to show, you know, that see and Esau gives these Latin tribes these different positions because he knows that that's another way to keep that division. You know, he'll put these Latin tribes in certain positions to, you know, to look down on the Negro tribes, you know. But like I said, you know, we come into a time where, you know, the Lord he's raising up his elect, and Esau is gonna be taken down. The Lord's gonna give spiritual power to those that, you know, that the Lord is gonna raise up in these last days. You know, some of those men are going to receive that spiritual power, and they're going to be out here tearing shit up, you know, tearing Esau up, tearing these other nations up. Okay, and 2/3 of Israel, they're going to get told to fuck up. Okay, you know, so I just wanted to, you know, touch on this video real quick, you know, and this is not no, like I said, this ain't no shot to the northern brothers and sisters out there that do believe, you know, because we already know that all our people, all northern tribes are on this vibration right here. You know, it's 2/3. You know, some of them may be tares, you know, but you know, whether they tares or not, you know, that this way of thinking is not going to be among the election. The elect body of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. You know, it's just another example of why 2/3 got to go. You know, and it just shows how the spirit of this place, the spirit of Babylon. It's all about destroying the Israelites. It's all about destroying the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, because you so-called Latinos that's coming up against the so-called Negroes, you coming up against your own nation. You coming up against your own people. When you so-called Latinos go out there and you oppress the so-called black man, black woman, you're oppressing your own. Okay, when you murder a so-called black man, so-called black woman, you murdering your own people. You're destroying yourself. Okay? And vice versa. You so-called black people out there putting hell on the northern brothers and sisters, the Latino brothers and sisters, you destroying your own. You out there murdering Latino men, Latino women, you destroying your own. Okay? You know, bottom line. Matter of fact, let me close it out with this. Bear me 1 second. This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 33. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast, and they refused to let them go." You see that? It says the children of Israel, which is the north, which is Ephraim, and the children of Judah, which is the south, the so-called Negro tribes, were oppressed together. Okay? It's no coincidence when you go to these different hoods, especially here in Babylon. You know, you got the northern tribes and the southern tribes, you know, in the same predicament, the same areas. Okay, even though a lot of these, you know, in LA, a lot of these neighborhoods are segregated, but it's still the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom still share store. They gotta share different things in these different neighborhoods. Okay, even though they might live in they might live on this block, and the Southern Kingdom live on one block, Northern Kingdom live on another block, but they still gotta share the same businesses. They gotta go to the same stores. They gotta shop in the same areas. It's the same thing. Okay, even other regions. Wherever Israel is, all the tribes, if not all, some of the tribes intermingle with each other. And that's not no coincidence, man, because we're the same people. We're all under the curses. Okay, it's just that you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, a lot of you don't realize that, because you've been blinded, you've been lied to by the oppressor. You bought the oppressor's bullshit, and now you just lost in the sauce. But like I said, that's I wanted to just put this out there real quick, just to let you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans know that you showing that hatred towards one another, it's not gonna make your life any better. You're not gonna prosper because you think you looking down, you oppressing your own. You think Esau's gonna give you a pat on the back, you gonna get a promotion, and Esau's gonna put you on the same level with him. No, it's not gonna happen, man. Okay, stepping on your own people and shitting on your own people, you're not gonna get far, man. Okay, and if you do get up, you're not gonna be up for too long, because this place is gonna be destroyed any goddamn way, man. So yeah, so with that, I'm gonna give all glory and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem HaKodash, the honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, honors and salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing his word in truth, sincerity. Shalom.